Hello everyone, it's Teacher Joel of Your English Mind, and thanks for stopping by class today. In today's class, we are going to focus on homographs, okay? In the English language, we have lots of different homographs, all right? So, in today's lesson, first, I'm going to talk about what a homograph is. And once I've explained what a homograph is with a few examples, then we're going to work on pronunciation practice and emphasis with two-syllable nouns, adjectives, and verbs. Now, the reason I'm going to do this is because in the final part of our lesson, I'm going to go over 5 different homographs. And all of the homographs that I'm going to go over are two-syllable nouns, adjectives, and verbs. So we've got a lot of work to do today, okay? So let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, let's take a look at what a homograph is to start. Now, a homograph is a word that is spelled the same but has different meanings and possibly a different pronunciation. A couple of weeks ago, I did a video on 10 different ways we can use the word cut. Cut is an example of a homograph. It's spelled the same, it sounds the same, and it has many different meanings. English has lots of homographs, okay? Now, I want to look at 2 examples here. One, the pronunciation of the word is the same, and the other one, the pronunciation of the word is different, okay? So let's look at the first example here. So we could say, fall is my favorite season. Don't slip and fall. So the homograph in both of these sentences is fall. And it's spelled F-A-L-L and also sounds the same in both sentences, okay? Now, in this example here, fall is a noun. It is a season. And in this example here, don't slip and fall, fall is used as a verb, okay? Now, let's take a look at the second example. Let's go bass fishing. My uncle plays bass guitar, okay? Now, you'll notice that both of these words are spelled the same, but they sound different. Bass and bass. So homographs are words that are spelled the same, and sometimes they sound the same, but they can be pronounced differently, and of course they have different meanings. Now, let's move on to the second part where I'm going to discuss the rules of the emphasis of pronouncing two-syllable adjectives, nouns, and verbs. All right, now let's take a look at the pronunciation rules for two-syllable nouns, adjectives, and verbs. Now, the reason I'm discussing this rule is because later in class with our 5 homographs, each of the words is 2 syllables. So that's why I'm going to go over this now, okay? Now, let's start with two-syllable nouns. Now, before we get started, I just want to quickly go over what a syllable is. I talked about syllables in an earlier video when we did one on comparatives, adjectives, and superlatives. In case you didn't see that video, a syllable is basically a break in a word with at least one vowel. Of course, the vowel is A, E, I, O, U, and depending on the word, sometimes Y. So, you know, for example, my name Joel is 1 syllable, okay? But let's look at the word hospital. Hospital. That's 3 different syllables, okay? So just remember that. Now let's take a look here for two-syllable nouns. Now, when we're pronouncing two-syllable nouns, the stress is at the beginning of the word. Now, when I say stress, what I mean is your voice is basically going up, okay? So, you know, two-syllable nouns. Tennis, picnic, monster, jacket, helmet. So the rule is for two-syllable nouns, the stress is at the beginning of the word. Now, I'm going to pronounce it the opposite. I want to see if you can hear the difference, okay? So this is pronouncing it correctly. Tennis, okay? The stress is at the first part of the word. Tennis. Now, I'm going to mispronounce it. See if you can hear it. Tennis. Tennis. Okay? So I'm not pronouncing that word correctly, okay? So two-syllable nouns, the stress is at the beginning of the word. Now, let's take a look at two-syllable adjectives. Two-syllable adjectives, like two-syllable nouns, the rule is the same. The stress is at the beginning of the word, okay? Happy, ugly, perfect, broken, early, okay? So the stress is in the first part of the word. Now, I'm going to do the same thing I did over here. I'm going to give you an example of how to pronounce it correctly and how to pronounce it incorrectly so you can hear the difference, okay? Happy. Happy, okay? So that's with the stress at the beginning of the word. Happy. Happy, okay? So you can hear how my voice changes, how my voice goes up at the second part of the word. And that is the incorrect way to pronounce both two-syllable nouns and two-syllable adjectives. And finally, let's go to two-syllable verbs. Now here, the rule is actually different. For two-syllable verbs, the stress is actually at the end of the word. So with nouns and adjectives, the stress is at the beginning, but with verbs, it's actually at the end of the word. So let's take a look at 5 verbs here. Enjoy, begin, support, receive, forget, okay? So with verbs, the stress is on the second part of the word. Now, I'm going to pronounce it correctly and incorrectly so you can hear the difference, okay? So, enjoy. Enjoy, okay? So that's how we would pronounce this word correctly. But if I put the stress at the beginning, enjoy. Enjoy, okay? I know that sounds really strange, but I'm obviously mispronouncing the word on purpose so you can hear the difference between the two. One is correct and one is incorrect. Okay, so now we are going to go to the final part of our lesson. We're going to take a look at 5 different homographs with different pronunciations so you can hear and see the difference between both. All right, let's take a look at our first homograph example, and we're going to be taking a look at the word address, okay? Now, let's focus on the verb first. Now, one of the verb forms of address means to deal with a difficult problem or situation. So we could say he really needs to address his problems or he will lose his job, okay? Address in this context means deal with or handle something, okay? Now, another way that we could use address in the verb form is to speak to a person or people in a formal way. Formal means more serious or more professional, more polite. So we could say the president will address the nation later this evening. Now, I want you to notice my pronunciation. So remember, 2-syllable verbs, address, 2 syllables. Now with the verb, the stress is on the second part of the verb, okay? So address, address, okay? Address. I'm gonna compare the two later so you can hear it again more closely, okay? Now, let's take a look at address as a noun. Now, one of the ways we can use address as a noun is just simply the location of a place, okay? So my address is 321 Maple Ridge Street. That's where this person might live, okay? Now, another way we can use address in the noun form is a formal speech. So you'll notice over here, you'll notice over here that address verb means to speak to a person or people in a formal way. And then as a noun, it's just simply a formal speech. So we could say President Miller will give his address to the United Nations tomorrow afternoon. So remember, two-syllable nouns, the stress is at the beginning of the word, okay? Address. Address. All right? So I'm going to pronounce both words so you can hear the difference in pronunciation. Address. 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 Okay? One more time. Address. 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 Okay? So you see how my voice changes a bit there. All right. Let's go on to our second homograph. So let's look at our second homograph, which is the word project and project. I'm going to go into more detail about the pronunciation in just a couple minutes, okay? So let's focus on the verb first. Now, project, remember, verb, two-syllable verb, the stress is at the end of the word, okay? So this sounds like project, project. Now, to project means to estimate something that might happen in the future based on current data. I need to project our sales for the coming year and have the numbers to the boss by 3 p.m. Companies do this all the time. To project means to guess what will happen or to estimate what will happen in the future based on current data, okay? So that's what this sentence means, okay? So I want you to hear my pronunciation again. Project, project, okay? Now, another way that we can use this word as a verb is to show off a certain image or behavior to others. We need to wear a suit to the office so we can project an image of professionalism to our clients. So this is why if you are working in an office or you're working with many important clients or customers, you need to wear a suit or very formal clothing to show off or to project an image of professionalism, okay? So I just want to quickly go over the pronunciation again. Project. Project, okay? So my voice goes up on the second part of the word because with verbs, the stress is on the second part, okay? Now, as a noun, this word sounds like project. Project. With a noun, two syllables, the stress is at the beginning, okay? So a project is a large task that is worked on by one or more people for professional or academic purposes. Academic just means that it's related to school. So it could be, elementary school, junior high school, university, college, okay? Anything related to school. That's what academic means. It's an adjective. So when we use this as a noun, I need to finish this history project by Friday, okay? So you notice my voice here, project, project, okay? Our team is working on an interesting project that involves teaching robots how to communicate using sign language. Sign language is just using your hands to communicate. It's for people who are unable to speak, okay? So that's what sign language is. So really quickly, I'm gonna compare both words. I want you to listen to my pronunciation and see if you can hear the difference. Project, 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 okay? So you can hear the difference in my voice between the verb and the noun. Let's go and let's take a look at our third example of a homograph. All right, let's look at our third homograph, which is record and record. Okay, so let's focus on the verb first. Now, when we use this word as a verb, one of the ways we can use it means to write down important information to make sure it is factual and correct. Okay, so record means to write something down so you can remember it for later. So we could say, Jane, please make sure to record today's meeting and send a copy to everyone later this afternoon. So as a verb, record. Record, okay? My voice goes up at the end, record. Now, another way we can use this word as a verb is to convert a song or live performance to CD, DVD, or other digital forms, okay? So right now, I am recording this YouTube video, so we could say, I need to record a video for my YouTube channel. Okay, so again, record a video, record today's meeting. Your voice goes up at the second part of the word as a two-syllable verb. Now, as a noun, the word sounds like this, record, okay? Record. The emphasis is at the beginning of the word. So a record is a written piece of information that can be used as proof of something. Do you have a record of your purchase? So in this example here, maybe they could be talking about a receipt. A receipt is a slip of paper that a customer receives when they purchase something to show that they actually bought it from that store. And if they want to return it, they need to show their receipt, okay? Because that is like a record of their purchase. Now, another way we could use the word record as a noun is an accomplishment that only one person or a group holds. So we could say Usain Bolt holds the record for the world's fastest man. So when you're watching the Olympics, and sometimes, someone might do something amazing and you'll hear the announcers say, she just broke the world record or he just broke the world record. That means that it is an accomplishment that only they have reached and no one else has done that. So it's a new record, okay? So just really quickly, I want you to listen to the pronunciation here, okay? Record. Record today's meeting. Record. Record a video. So my voice goes up. And as a noun, record, okay? Do you have a record of your purchase? Record holds the record for the world's fastest man. Okay, so you can hear my voice sound different between the two. You guys are doing great. Let's look at our fourth homograph. All right, let's look at our fourth homograph, which is the word minute and minute. Now, this is a bit strange because minute is an adjective and minute is a noun. So remember, with an adjective and a noun, the stress is at the beginning of the word. But if you'll notice, the word, even though it's spelled the same, it sounds differently, okay? So M-I-N-U-T-E. But as an adjective, we pronounce it minute, and as a verb, we pronounce it minute. But the emphasis is still at the beginning of the word, okay? So minute, as an adjective, it means that something is very small in size, degree, or importance. So if we were to use it in a sentence, we could say, your chances for success at this company are very minute, very, very small, okay? That's not good to hear if you're at this company. Now, another way we could use this word in a sentence, I hate checking these reports because I need to go over every minute detail. So you've got to look over all these reports, look at all this information, every little detail, probably very, very boring and not fun to do, okay? So as an adjective, minute, but the emphasis is still at the beginning of the word, minute, okay? Now, as a noun, minute, well, a minute is a period of time that lasts 60 seconds. So we could say, I can only talk for a minute, so speak fast. Or we could say, do you have a minute to take a look at this report? So you'll notice again, as the noun, the emphasis is still at the beginning part of the word. Okay, so minute and minute. All right, you guys are doing great. We've got one more homograph to go, which is the word present and present. All right, friends, we are on our final homograph, which is present and present. Okay. So when we're using the word present as a verb, one of the meanings is to bring something to a person or group of people. So we could say, our team needs to present our research to the university board. So to present means, to give a presentation. Presentation is a noun. It means to speak in front of one person or a group of people. It might be to give them information about a subject, or it could be you want something in return, like you are making a sales presentation, okay? Now, another way we could use this word as a verb means to formally introduce someone. So we might say, may I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Jones. This is very common to hear at weddings. So when the bride and groom come into the reception is the party after the wedding ceremony. The MC is a master of ceremonies. They would say, may I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Jones, because now they are officially married, okay? So that's another way we can use that word as a verb. Now, as a noun, the word sounds different. Present, okay? Present. So as a noun, a present is a gift. So we could say, I need to buy a present for my son's birthday. And another meaning of the word present as a noun just means a period of time that is right now. Stop living in the past and focus on the present, okay? So I want you to listen to the difference in pronunciation as a verb. Present, 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 okay? So you can hear the difference in my voice. So guys, I hope you found this lesson very beneficial. Once again, I'm linking the whole lesson plan, all the things we talked about. I'm linking the PDF in the description below so you can download a PDF copy of today's lesson plan. That's what I used to teach this lesson. You guys did a great job today. Thanks for stopping by class, and I hope to see you again real soon. Hello everyone, it's Teacher Joel of Your English Mind, and I just wanted to say thanks for stopping by class today. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe to the Your English Mind YouTube channel and click on the notifications bell to make sure that you're getting updates on all the new English videos we are producing. Also, add us on Instagram and Facebook, where we're posting new English content all the time to help you build your English skills. You did an excellent job in today's class, and I'm very proud of you. I hope to see you in class again real soon.